Is joining us right now here on Florida's Voice, Executive Director for the National Federation of Independent Business. And it's good to see him again. Just wanted to get into a little bit about what's going on with this. First of all, good to see you. How are you, sir?
Yeah. Hey, Drew. Thanks for having me.
Always appreciate you being here. So talk a little bit about, for those that don't know, the right to repair. That did come up recently and people were like, wait a second, I didn't know that this was a thing. First of all, let's talk about the right to repair and obviously freedom to fix.
Yeah. Right to repair. What an aptly named bill. And isn't it a pleasure when acronyms work out just right? It's the right to equitable and professional auto industry repair. But basically, the thought that when you buy something, you own it. When you own it, you should have a right to repair it. And what this NFIB is joined with consumers in advocating this bill that's critical for independent small businesses, particularly our independent auto repair shops, who are getting locked out of doing simple repairs. Sometimes everyone's heard of this happening, but then they think, well, it must have something to do with the brain of the car. It can be something as simple as changing a windshield wiper blade, and a local auto repair shop finds that they're locked out from changing a windshield wiper blade because it needs a code in order to do so. As cars get more and more complex, even small repairs we're finding need these diagnostic codes and activation codes. And it's about time to break down that wall. I've got hundreds of small independent repair shops in my membership, and sure, they're busy. We everyone's facing a labor shortage now, and sometimes it takes a long time to get your car into the official dealer. Everyone likes to have a local option, somebody they know, somebody they trust, somebody down the street that can repair their car. The Repair Act will assure that that continues into the future.
Yeah, I don't know that a lot of people knew that that was happening. And it seems like more and more the excuse is, well, they're just too technologically savvy for my local guy to do it. That just seems crazy. And then you talk about the idea that something as simple as a wiper blade could be something that has to go to the dealer. But then you can extrapolate this to other things, couldn't you? When you talk about the military, for example, and repairs on different things. I mean, is that another concern of yours? Like how we do things governmentally when it comes to issues like repairs and
Right,
freedom to fix?
right. Well, NFIB's also concerned about our fleet operators, businesses that have large fleets. Well, who else does? The government,
There you go.
and particularly the Department of Defense. Can you imagine during a military operation in an entry line military vehicle saying, "Oh, wait a minute, we've got to bring this back to the shop, got to bring it back to the dealership." We certainly agree with the military. The military should have absolute prerogative to repair their vehicles on site internally with their own operations.
Yeah. It's just an interesting proposition there that is going on. But I just want to go back to the independent dealers and how long has this? Do you know how long this has been the case where the independent dealers? Is it been a recent phenomenon that they have been in a situation where there less and less people going to them because of the codes, as it were, or the needs of going to the dealer itself? Like, is this just a recent thing?
Yeah, well, I think if you ask consumers, you'll find that they all prefer to go to their neighborhood independent repair shop. Generally, it's someone they know, it's someone they trust, it's someone that's going to be around, and they know they can count on them. But it's gradually been encroaching into more and more aspects of the vehicles. Again, I think many people have come across this, but can overread it when they hear from their small independent dealer that, oh, this is something that needs to go to the dealership, unfortunately. And they think it's some big, highly technical repair, when in fact it's just being gate kept. That independent repair shop is being gate kept from getting the codes to work on pretty straightforward and routine mechanical matters.
Right. Yeah, and I think about how getting the parts being accessible, the rates that people charge per hour to do the work, the competitive nature of all of this has for generations been able to keep us on the road. I mean, let's be honest. When you have that competition out there, when you know that there's someone else that you can go to in a small independent business to get that work done, you're talking about families, you're talking about generations of families, you're talking about jobs, great jobs that people have had, and the continuation of all of those jobs because of competition that should be in the marketplace.
Yeah. I want to make sure we give a shout out to the bill's sponsor, who this bill has Florida roots. It's sponsored, its prime sponsor is Congressman Neil Dunn from the Panhandle area, who I'm sure you know, and
Yeah.
you're aware that he's retiring from Congress this year. And what a great send off we could give Neil than to pass his bill in the waning days of the congressional session. All things are possible, but we are attempting to encourage Congressman Dunn to get his bill hooked up to the Transportation Reauthorization Act, and that's a must pass before the end of the congressional session. So even though you might think that these guys are 99% in campaign mode, work is still being done. They're all home right now, so it's a great time to talk to your congressman and remind them, hey, I heard that there's a repair act that you could get passed before the end of the session. Let's get it done. And I'll tell you, this is one bill that will affect an awful lot of consumers, if not all consumers, everyone who has a vehicle out there.
There you go. All right, Bill, listen, great to see you again. All the best, and we'll see you again soon, okay?
Thank you, Drew.
All right, appreciate you. All right, that is Bill Herrle joining us here on Florida's Voice, Executive Director for the